Welcome back to Create Wealth Through Franchising podcast and Kim Daly TV. In my studio today, a new special friend. His name is Ben Brown from Knoxville, Tennessee. Ben, welcome to the studio of Kim Daly TV.
Thanks, Kim. How are you doing today?
I am so good, and I'm so excited to meet you. So we're going to tell your inspiring story of moving from a corporate job into a franchise that everybody wakes up to say, oh, yeah, I want to be a part of Window Hero. Start us at the beginning, Ben. How did franchising find you?
You know, Kim, I got to a point in my career where I was chasing a carrot I did not want to chase after anymore, and wanted to find a way back to more of a local environment, community environment, and just making an impact locally. So I just kind of started beginning looking around for, something that technically I could do. I've got 3 kids, and I 2 boys, a little girl, and wanted to find something. When I had to go make some money today, I could go do it, but also something that I, as a dad of kids who are in sports all the time, don't have the time to really put that effort into. And so I came across Window Hero and just met the team, met the guys, and really kind of went through the process and fell in love with the culture, just their mantra, the CARES mantra, and just really fell in love with what they offered and really could see myself creating and scaling a company based on what they really put in place.
You know what I love about what you said is I love a lot of things. We're going to go back because I don't know what CARES is, but what I really love here is, so I preach all the time to all of my candidates and to all my listeners, franchising is who, not what. And if you listen to what he just said, he said it was who, right? So it wasn't like window cleaning was the thing. It was the people who were bringing this brand to market that he made this connection to, which is amazing. So back us up a little bit. What were you doing in corporate job when you decided no longer chasing that carrot?
So I was working with the likes of Discover Financial and Accenture and multi billion-dollar companies up in Chicago and Minnesota, and traveling a decent bit. But yeah, just going after something that I didn't really have a passion about. It was just a job.
Okay, so this is awesome. So you're in this high-tech environment, and then you invest in this franchise that's really kind of not high-tech. So make that switch for us. How important was that the business you were investing in was not in technology?
I think that's what really kind of drove me to it. I mean, I have a lot of buddies who are in the same field, in the same area, and we all had the same issues. It was just, you didn't have a relationship with the people you're involved with. And it was a numbers game. It was all about, what do you do? What are you doing for now? What's the next quarter look like? I joke around, like 10 years ago when I was 30-ish, I couldn't have done this because I didn't have that experience and that wisdom that came along with like struggling through and finding new clients and really moving up the chain, the command, in that, corporate world. Here you're speaking with the end user every single day. So I think those things kind of teach you a lot of things, that the simplicity is key. It's always about making connections, finding pain points, finding things that people struggle with, doing, and then, really providing value to them in their personal houses, their personal homes. They're always looking for someone they can trust in their house. And I feel like I'm pretty trustworthy. I look like your kind of kid neighbor next door a lot of times. But I think that brings a lot of value is because, like I said, that's the team I'm trying to build. I'm trying to build people that you want in your house. I kind of have this phrase of, I build a team and I'll have a team that you want to invite in your house for a glass of lemonade. That's what I want to have. And, I think I sold that same way in the corporate world, which is not always the best way to sell, but you're selling trust, whatever you do. But moving from that high tech world to this, it's pretty simple. But it's not easy. And if it was easy, everyone would do it and a homeowner would do it. It's same premise, same idea. You're selling pain and you're solving pain. That's the key.
It's really well said. I love that. So back up to CARES. What is CARES?
CARES is the kind of the mantra for Window Hero and Homefront Brands, which is the community, accountability, respect, excellence, and service. And that's the 5 kind of mantras they live by.
Like pillars.
Yeah, correct. It's all about the cares mentality. And so it's one of the key components that really drove me, because I guess I've got 2 boys and a little girl. That's what we live our daily lives about, is the community, the accountability, respect, excellence, service. Like, those are things you can do every single day. It's pretty simple and pretty easy to understand, but putting those those 5 pillars in place is it's a lifestyle.
It's very admirable. I think what you're speaking to is it's really brilliant in its simplicity, because so many people out there thinking about franchising would look at a simple business and be like, well, why do you need a franchise for that? We're going to come back to that question, right? But what you're saying is like, because people assume there has to be this complicated business model in order for it to be a successful franchise. When in fact, the simpler the business is by the nature of the business, the easier it is to actually be successful, right? So it's almost so simple. People would be like, I don't need to go do that with a franchise, but running a business is never simple. So partnering yourself with people that have these pillars, that have processes, that have technology, that have training and support, those are the things that make a business in a simple industry as a franchise more successful than the mom and pop person who may go out there and just try to do it, and then 90 days from now not show up to clean the windows they said they were going to clean up because they're out of business, right?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I love it. I love it so much. Okay. So you came in as an owner operator in your business. Are you an executive owner, like managing through a team of people? I have so many questions. Did you just rip the cord on corporate America and dive in, or did you straddle both worlds? How did you make the transition without upsetting like your family and paying your bills?
Yeah, that definitely happens. I left the corporate world just kind of cold turkey. The same time my wife, honestly, within the same 2 months, my wife left her. She's a pharmacist at a local hospital and went to work for a med device company, very similar time frame. We had a 2-year-old in that same midst. So like there was a lot going on.
There was a lot going on in those 2 years ago in the Ben Brown household.
But like that's the thing is like I kind of saw it as, okay, could I go into it and do this part-time? I probably could. And there's times I look back going, I probably should have done that. However, we had such good success coming off that kind of because I gave my full effort towards it, that it led me to a better opening. We have not had many down months. Part of that is I know how to sell. I know how to solve pain, like as I kind of talked about. I love that operation. I love the business side of things. I was on the job a lot at the beginning. I've tried to scale my team, and that's one of the hardest parts about this has been so far has been scaling a team. Because finding employees is easy. Finding the right employees is the hard part. And so there are days I'm on the job. There's days I've been off the job. I've tried to get myself to that more executive world where I'm focusing more on, the big fish, bigger projects, continuing to keep my team, staying busy and focused and having all the work they need to maintain their healthy lifestyle as well. So it's been a very fluid, kind of evolving role. The goal, and I'm training someone right now, is to manage my team, manage the operations. And for me, and kind of a lot of the successful Window Hero franchises is having, that owner in place and having the hierarchy down, a general manager, sales leader, people involved where the owner can really focus on really expanding and networking the environment out, bringing in more opportunities that are not Google related, essentially. And the more we're out there doing those things, the more opportunities we're going to have a very fluid and very solid foundation for growth within the team.
What do you say to somebody who may be like, window cleaning? Like, isn't that like super competitive?
It's not. The pressure, when I made this jump, I remember my wife at like 11 o'clock looking online going, there's 100 pressure washers here in town. And I go, yes. And like, that's one of our services. But the reality is going, well, do you know any of them? If you pick up the phone today, what would you do? You would go on Facebook. And you would have people that you know and you trust who are going to refer you somebody, and you're going to use one of those referrals. I said the same thing. Like, window cleaning is something that's very hard to do. It's one of the hardest tasks to complete. Yes, we can take some Windex and spray on a window and use a paper towel, wipe it off, and still go, it looks bad.
When the sun shines through it, you're like, yep,
correct.
I did that.
Yeah. And so, we're selling art. We're selling that, that struggle of actually cleaning the window really well, because most people cannot do it themselves. That's what we are providing, is we're providing that service they cannot do really well. And window cleaning in our world is very, there's people who do it, but they do it kind of as an ancillary piece. The pressure washing is more what they want to do. I look at it from a reverse standpoint. I want to gain a lot of window cleaning, clients. It's kind of like an insurance firm, right? Like, they are my PNC. They're going to use me 2 or 3 times a year for window cleaning. The pressure washing they may do every other year. So it's going to be more fickle, essentially. And so I look at the window cleaning as a great opportunity to gain more market share, which allows me to really put my effort into getting that list of clients that I can use to expand my services with those clients.
So much gold in every single thing you're saying, from the, focus of the owner on like the big fish and customers that are driven not through Google. Like, yeah. I'm sure there's people listening going, why would you want to do that? I'm like, well, because those are probably bigger jobs, right? Getting schools and churches and commercial buildings have more windows, and they probably pay you more than the homeowner, right? Yeah. And then just the like focus on the diversified revenue stream, but having your bread and butter, right? Which are those repeat customers like Kim Daly. And you know what's funny, Ben? I will say that since COVID, I had this great mom and pop guy who he runs a really, really big business. And I was always able to get on his calendar. And now if I don't call him like 9 months before I want to have my windows cleaned, like I'm not even exaggerating, I can't get on his calendar. He's so busy. So, I mean, the idea that when you leave a home, I would love it if they were like, hey, do you want us to come back in 6 months and just put me on the calendar? I'd be like, yep, I'll see you in 6 months. Do you do that?
We do. And that's part of the process and procedures we're trying to really put in place, is to continue scheduling them out, expand the services as well. We don't push hard for that because we want them to kind of want to have it done. It's a hard sell. If you don't want to have it done, you're not going to have it done.
Right.
But put that, really kind of plant that seed of, hey, we are offering window tinting, and your back, your south side windows get a lot of sun, just kind of putting those seeds in place to where then when they think of window tinting and window cleaning, they're thinking of us for the services we offer. But we're pushing those, 3 core services is the key. But yeah, we talk and have those conversations on repeat with our customers, of show them things they need to look out for, why they need to do it, and really kind of sell the solution compared to a service.
What advice would you give to the listener who may be out there thinking, I want to run a service-based business, but I probably can't quit my full-time job? So I know, like, if people do quit their full-time job, they're probably like, oh, that's the way to do it. If they don't quit their full-time job, they're like, no, I did it. But like, I'm talking to you. What's your advice to that person? Because that's the more common, I think, thought for most people is, I can't leave that job until I know this thing is going to cash flow.
Yeah. I mean, I think your business model has to match what you can actually complete. We went full bore to this. And like I said, we had a lot of success because I took that 2.5, 3 months in place to make sure that when I was ready to go, from when I kind of signed on board to my first service date, I knew on my first service date that I was ready to go. I knew that I could open the doors. I was ready to go full bore. And I had a long list of clients ready to go. I think you have to start planting seeds and really understanding what you're getting into. Practice is a key component as well, because the first few weeks I did jobs by myself because I needed to know how kind of, how the sausage is made. Like, what do we do here? How can I mess up? We're still learning how we mess up, but still learning how we succeed and how we are expedient in our services as well. So I think really, there's no, right or wrong. I think if you have the financial, kind of backing to go full bore into it and just kind of, jump in, I think it's the best thing. But you have to have that business model in place that matches what your personality is.
Right.
If you're not great at sales, then don't come in and hoping you can sell and learn how to sell. Hire somebody to do so and bring jobs to you and make sure you have that area that you fall in line with just kind of covered, because otherwise it's going to be a struggle.
In a business like this, you almost need that dual skill set of the sales and the leadership, right?
Right.
Because the business requires both. Not every business requires that, but in this business, I can see easily that would require both.
100%. Yeah.
Fast forward. So you've been in business now for 2 years. Did you buy multiple territories, or do you have plans to expand?
I have plans to expand. I don't know what the time frame of that. I bought one territory. There's more options for others, but I'm not sure if it's going to be, here locally or elsewhere. But I also have other franchises I'm looking at within Homefront as well that I'm considering in the future. So I want to expand, but I'm not sure exactly where to expand yet. And so we're just trying to focus on Window Hero at the moment and having those plans in place for future growth.
Yeah. So to clarify, in case the listener didn't follow, he's part of a larger organization that has multiple franchise brands that he could double down on the same territory, maybe with another offering. So going back to the customers he's already serving for windows or power washing and adding on another lawn service or whatever it is that is under that umbrella, versus going wider with another territory for the same business, and just instead of going deep into one, going deep, but then also going wide across multiple territories. Okay. So, and this maybe then answers the next question I want to ask you, but do you think that you would ever go back to working for somebody else, or 2 years into this, do you know, you are unemployable by corporate America now?
I've had excellent buddies who've reached out for opportunities to come on board with their offices doing something. I wouldn't turn it down, but at the same time, I see there's no light at the end of the tunnel. I see the pathway though here with this. I don't have that goal, that ambition to go forward with someone else. My passion is here. My passion is these companies, whether it's to grow the companies as an asset for my kids one day to continue taking over, or if it's something that I look to sell and retire with. I don't know. But in all honesty, for right now, I focus on what we're doing here and things in the future. I mean, even though I still feel older than I used to be, I mean, it's a long road. I mean, there's 30, 40 more years of hopeful, 50 more years maybe, of hopeful living to really make those decisions. But I don't see myself making that, kind of taking that left turn to another business, working for somebody else.
And so you don't regret the decision to leave corporate America and jump in and become your own boss.
No, I mean, I miss the paycheck sometimes, but at the same time, I do see what's ahead, and that's what keeps me going, and that's where it drives me. Is just I love the challenge of saying I'm going to get there. When I don't know, but I'm going to get there, and that's the key.
Love it. I love it. Is there a lot of internal coaching at Homefront Brands? Do you have a business coach inside your organization?
We do. And that's one thing that I really enjoy, is just having that ability to have that conversation when there's whether it's on the business side, the operations side. We have a great ecosystem, even with the other franchisees. I talk to franchisees almost every single day, asking them questions about their business, their models, what they're doing. Because I want to be where the top guys are. That's what my goal is. I want to beat them. They want to beat me. We want to go out together. But we have that conversation together, and we always are communicating, our numbers, what's working for us, our struggles, our inefficiencies, all those things. We're communicating those things together, whether it's with the Homefront Brands team, the Window Hero team, or it's the other franchisees. It's a great ecosystem to bounce ideas off of and make sure we're all on the same path. Because the better they do as franchisees, the better I do. And if it's going to work in one environment, it's going to work in another.
Yeah, so true. So like we're as humans, we're all like a little competitive, but
Yeah,
it's a friendly competition because at the
correct.
end of the day, we realize that if we can share our own knowledge with our fellow franchisees, then our entire brand is stronger. The entire ecosystem is stronger. It's so well said. And I live that also as, a franchise consultant at part of Franchoice. We're all very competitive, but
Yeah,
at the same time, we're all, totally open to sharing anything that we figured out that works because we want everybody. There really is no competition. There's enough market share out there for
right.
everybody. And, you just want to build the business of your dreams. You don't need everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what advice, Ben, do you have for the listener out there who's not yet a business owner, who's sitting on the sideline listening to this episode thinking, I want to do it, but I'm so nervous?
I think that everyone's decision is completely different. It's a great thing to do. I've loved every minute of it. It is the most tiring thing you've done as well. So I think you had to be prepared.
Like parenting?
Yes, yeah.
Rewarding and exhausting all at
Yes,
the same
correct.
time.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, you're always looking for that, that 5-10 year plan ahead. That's the key. If you can kind of muster through the mud kind of thing, like just really walk through the mud, like it gets easier. Every day for me gets easier and tougher at the same time because as you scale and you grow, other things pop up that didn't happen yesterday. It's an ever changing, ever kind of moving environment, but at the same time, it's a very fulfilling. Jeff said the other day, one of his, failure is going to happen. Like it's how you overcome it. And that's the key is you're going to have failures with it because you don't know what you're doing sometimes, but you learn so much and grow from that. And you have so much appreciation for what's actually happening when you look back on it. So I'm never going to say don't do it. I'm always going to say do it, but also make sure it fits your personality and kind of your model.
The only way to build a business is to fail forward. Let's be real.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It made me want to ask one more question. So can you ever imagine going out there as a solopreneur, like an entrepreneur, even in a simple business like window cleaning and pressure washing, compared to the value of what you have and what you're surrounded by inside that franchise system?
No, I mean, looking back now of what I would have had to have done, I mean, the time you put into building a website and Facebook page and maintaining those things and, really understanding what the business model can look like and what other people do. And you're going to have yes, you're not going to have some of the fees and things like that, but you're paying for the experience. You're paying for the wisdom and the vision and the drive as well. So for me and many people, like I said, it's a great asset to have. It's, there's always gonna be things you go, oh, I could have done it cheaper, but you kind of get what you pay for as well. You can always find a cheaper pressure washer, a cheaper window cleaner, but you may not be the best that you're actually looking for.
I love it. It's so good. It's such a pleasure to meet you, Ben. Thank you so much for
Yeah, thank you,
being
Kim.
our guest here today and sharing your story with my followers.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So for those who are ready to begin your journey, even to a simple business like window cleaning and figure out why would I need a franchisor to open that business? Well, you know that Kim Daly wants to be your franchise consultant and your daily coach. So please follow the link in the description right now. Don't wait. Talk yourself out of it. Just do it. And until next time, my name is Kim Daly, and I want to be your daily coach.